In the Tantra, as you know, the whole Susumna, what is known as the Susumna or the central channel, and it is regarded as the Jivatma and the six chakras, those chakras which we call chakras in it, as standing for the different states of the soul's existence. At the first three lower centers, the Jivatma remains dormant. This is according to the Tantra theory, as you may be aware of. And where the Jivatma remains dormant, identifying itself with physical and mental experiences. Whenever it remains dormant, the moment it awakens and becomes self-aware, only then what we call consciousness is raised to the level of the fourth center, which is known as the Anahata Chakra. That is the bosom, which we call the bosom. This is usually spoken of as the heart center, and it is pictured as a blue lotus with 12 petals. But in some well-known tantric works, even I have found that heart center, which is pictured as an 8-petaled red lotus just below what we know as the Anahata Chakra. It is in this red lotus, they say, that mental worship of one's chosen deity is to be performed. Well, even I remember a book, a treatise rather, Mahanirvana Tantra, which even calls it as Ananda Kanda, right? Ananda. These lotuses are often seen as the mystic symbols, which, however, represent certain supersensuous levels of experience. But what is important, it is that the heart or the Anahata Chakra is the point of convergence of several powers. The three lower chakras stand for the levels of unconscious, whereas the three higher centers stand for levels of the superconscious. These are all according to the prevalent tantric treatises. It may be our tantrism according to the Shaiva or Shakta fields of spiritualism, or even they are same in the Buddhist tradition of Tantrism, right? So all these chakras, according to the Tantric school of spiritualism, they are very important. And they regard as heart as the center situated in between. They say in between is the true seat, actual seat of true consciousness, they say, the source of self-awareness. Now, if you compare these with the Upanishadic view, you will find that the Upanishads see the heart as the Vijnanmaya Kosha, the sheath of the intelligence or the sheath of the self-awareness. While the Tantras describe the different levels of consciousness as chakras, wheels or circles, the Upanishads describe them as koshas or sheaths. Now, these are ways, according to the Upanishadic system or the Tantric system. Now, how does my Thakur sees all this? According to Thakur, these are extremely important power centers and through which we may find directions, we may discover directions from the universe. Universe or the Mahashunya or the Mahaprakriti, I should say. Mahaprakriti is the right word. Wants to give us direction through these chakras. Well, now consciousness limited by the five sheaths appear as five different selves. They have different identities. In the unique symbolism of, say, the Upanishads, each self is pictured. The Upanishadic rishis have a strange way of picturing them as birds. The Vijnanamaya self bird has for its head Shraddha, which they call what? The dynamic faith. Yes. They call this Shraddha as the dynamic faith. Awareness and will are the static and dynamic aspects of this particular Jivatma. In ordinary life, you will find that the will is enslaved by lower instincts and is directed outward towards sense objects. When it is freed and directed inward, it becomes a spiritual force, which is then termed as Shraddha, or what I have just mentioned as the dynamic faith. True faith is the motive force, leading and directing a person's spiritual progression. Hence, it is spoken or seen as the head of the Vijnanamaya self. Ritam. You know what Ritam is? Cosmic truth and Satyam, individual truth. They have two different ways of expressing the cosmic truth. Now, Ritam, which is called Ritam, which may be seen as what Thakur describes as Vivek. What that means is that individual consciousness is only a part of the cosmic consciousness, and the Satyam or the individual will force is trying its best to be in alignment with that rhythm. And that's all what sadhana is about. By sadhana, I mean spiritual sadhana.